evolution, but they do, even with that, you don't have to, but you can. They don't make a position, they don't say they believe in it. They're just saying, if you hold that, that is acceptable. That is, they can say, you can hold it if you want. We're not saying it is or isn't. But what they do say it is that that the whole thing with the original sin and all that is that there was an original couple that God actually, set up to receive, his image and likeness. Mm-hmm. That is true. We did originate from a single couple. There wasn't like multiple, things going on in evolution, or which one, maybe those don't have it. Now what happens if they, marry and have kids and stuff? Now what's going to happen? No, that never happened. But, they do believe that, yes, as far as some people, like to say the idea of the names, Adam and Eve and all that stuff, but it's like, well, you can do that if you want, but you don't have to. You can still believe that. And in fact, but they do say, no, but there is an original couple, that God did give his image to. So there is that. And all of
that raises another question, though. I don't know if you'd be comfortable answering that, but because then it goes to Cain and Abel, of which there's only one survivor, and then there's no written account of a potential spouse outside of that family.
Yes, there is. Well, outside the family, no, there wouldn't be. It is within that family.
So, and I don't mean to use the word incorrectly here, but it's like all incestual.
The whole thing with the sisters and brothers and things, it goes on and it says, they had other sons and daughters.
I don't remember that
part. When you're reading the account, you read through Genesis, you'll see it. Before you get to the flood, you're going to read all that stuff about, the genealogy. It starts with Adam.
Uh-huh.
It says, there was Cain and Abel, and of course Seth came after, Abel was killed. Well, there were other sons and daughters that came after Seth. But that was, it says the daughters were the wives. They were the first wives of those sons, those two sons, and the other sons. Then after that, obviously, now you've got cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and that would be appropriate for them to marry. And then as they get further out, it's like, okay, the closer the relative. But that wasn't even, remember that in the beginning, you don't see any prohibition against that.
Well, I don't mean like morally or like against the like laws back then, but I meant like there's known medical facts about we'll use the term incest here, and I use it kind of, I don't mean to be offensive with that term, but like they're serious.
That point. That is, it was not evil or wrong. It simply, the incest was not going to lead at that point, because everything was created right then very pure. And they've just barely fallen, okay? And what the fall was a loss. There was that connection to God, and it was actually a taking away of something, on something added in.
I see.
And so, yes, that's what original sin was.
Okay.
And what happened then was that, the first ones that did, there was still a purity of their bodies, their physical forms, so that there really wasn't any problem with, guys are going to be deformed and stuff like that. No, that didn't happen. And now further out, as we get more and more out from that and away from, even, and you can take it or leave it as far as, how long their lives were when it records those things.
Yeah, I never knew what to think about that, because I.
And it comes down, and as you go through all of Genesis, you see it's still pretty long, and it gets, but it's getting shorter and shorter, until we have it at a point where God says, okay, I'm not going to strive with them forever and stuff. Their days will be, 120 years. That's your long average.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He's not saying exactly that, and the day after your 120th birthday, you're going to kill over. No, that's what I mean. He's just saying this is going to be your long average. That's all. But and I don't know a lot of people up at 120.
Yeah,
But,
I don't either.
It also says later in even in the Old Testament, it says when things are better, it says it will then you'll be considered. Oh my goodness, they're kind of accursed if they don't make it to 100. Those who fail to make 100 years. And back then they weren't making 100 years. But he's saying there will come a time when that will be the case. I thought, how interesting. In other words, people will think it normal to live that long again at some point in the future.
I could see that medical science advancing over the next, several centuries. I could see the human lifespan being seriously elongated.
Well, of course, it already is compared to what it was even, not all that long ago. And think about it. Anytime Hallmark Cards puts out more than one birthday card for over 100 years old, it's like that, okay, there's a market for it. That means there's more people living that long.
Yeah.
It's kind of an odd way to mark such things, but hey, there you have it.
Okay, well, that was a really informative answer. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
I realize you're working at your bookstore, but would you mind answering a couple more, or?
Sure, I can. I'm not busy right now. If I have somebody come up, I'll have to, put you on hold or something. But yes, what else was an issue?
Okay, well, this one, man, transfiguration. So when I've taken the Eucharist as a child and I drank the blood of Christ as well, it was wine and bread, and I mean that's a big thing for me, because like I could be told that like my senses aren't tuned correctly, or like in our mortal bodies or in our states right now, we're incapable of picking up on the fact that it has changed into the body and the blood of Christ. But I was never convinced of that, and I don't, you know what I mean? Because you really can't just be like, oh well, let's go test it, you know what I mean? Because the argument states that we're just not capable of being aware of the change, other than we've been told about it, you know what I mean?
Okay, first a question. I wasn't even sure, are you a Catholic yourself?
I'm debating returning to Catholicism. I took a break, and you could call me an agnostic, I guess, for roughly a decade, and
okay, but what I'm saying is you're not like a Protestant who's thinking about Catholicism and having a lot of problems with it or something like that. You're a Catholic who's saying, I'm questioning some of these things that they teach. Is that it?
It's like, I don't want to say question, because it's, that's the Protestant view, is it's skeptic, and it's, hey, let's step back and deny this. And my view is like, maybe I just haven't been told in a way that I can understand.
Right. Yeah, I think when you said transfiguration, what you meant was transubstantiation.
That might have, I might have been thinking of the wrong word. But when the wheat and wine is turned into body and blood.
Yes, okay. Well, your senses are not deceiving you, because what happens is they call them the accidents, okay? That doesn't mean something that shouldn't have happened, okay? The accidents of bread and wine do remain, so it's under the appearance. It's a veil, basically, okay? And so it's going to taste like, feel like, look like, when it cracks like, bread, unleavened bread. And the wine, if you are having that, is also going to taste like wine. And if it's, a sharp wine will be sharp, and if it's not, it won't be. That's what it's going to be like in your senses, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it has actually changed. This is a matter of faith. You choose to believe that it is so because Jesus has said that it is so. You don't go around testing all that. Those are the sorts of things you do take and say, you know what? He did say this. Was he right about everything else? Yes. Is this actually, his body, blood, soul, and divinity? The answer is yes.
Okay.
And that's what you get, when the priest actually says the words of consecration over the bread and the wine. They cease to be bread and wine, even though as it's like a veil. We don't get to see right now.
Yeah.
We don't get to have it like that. He's made it that way on purpose so that you can eat his flesh and drink his blood, and it's not a scandal.
Okay. Yeah,
You're not going to gnaw on his arm, okay? That's not how it works.
yeah, I understand that. I just
Right. But
that's still a difficult one.
Yeah, and it's a stretch for some. All I knew is, does he state it clearly? Yes, he does. And you can go to John chapter 6, and you can read that very carefully, what he's saying about what they will have to eat his flesh and drink his blood, and then go to the accounts in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the Synoptic Gospels, and then also what Apostle Paul says later in the very early New Testament in Corinthians chapter 11, 1 Corinthians, okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm writing all this down.
Oh, okay. And you can see the verses there and see what it says. And there are other things that Paul says. He says wonderful things, I think, in the book of Galatians and other places, and it goes on and on and on. But he talks about, if you do not eat my flesh or drink my blood, you have no life in you. That's back in John chapter 6.
I remember that. That's one of the things I remembered.
Right.
That we say a lot. Okay. I think that about sums it all up. Yeah, I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
And you know what? If you ever want to come in here, we have some excellent books that will have that spelled out even better than what I've given you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I might stop by again. Thanks.
Very good. And what was your first name?
Devin.
Devin?
Yeah.
Oh, my name's Mary. Well, thank you very much for calling in anyway, and hopefully it's been of some help. But during the week, if you need to contact a priest, perhaps, I would go through and see the churches that are near you. Maybe go to the parishes rather than just the priest, and then you'll see who's at the parishes near you and who the priest is, and then you can contact them and say, hey, I'd like to have an appointment or call on the phone or something. And you can leave your contact information, no doubt, and they can give you a call.
That'd be awesome. Okay, great idea. Thank you very, very much.
Well, you're welcome. All right. Well, hope everything goes well, and you're able to make that contact.
All right.
Or come in and see us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you did correct me on a word I got wrong there. That was pretty cool, though. I like to learn. Man, that was a load of excuses. I mean, that's all I was hearing was just excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And then, I had to ask because Catholics have a belief, and if you're a Catholic watching this, get over it. I don't care. If Catholics have a belief that the piece of bread they eat and the wine they drink are actually the body and blood of their deity, Jesus Christ. And it blows my mind because you can take that, stick it under a microscope, and both of them, and you can have it examined. You can send it to a lab and get tested, and every time it's done, comes back 100% what they expect. But these people, they sit there and they're like, no, we can't pick up on it right now, but it really is the body and the blood. And yeah, if you test for it, it won't show up, but it really is there. And if you don't believe this one thing, by the way, which is a key essential part of the Catholic faith, then you're kind of condemned to hell forever, and that's your fault. So yeah, great episode. Catholicism's ridiculous.